I'm William Vinson. How to split test post-click landing pages. From start to finish, here are the steps you should take when conducting a split test. 1. Start with a reason to test. As we mentioned before, your reason for split testing should be data-driven. Did Google Analytics show that your visitors are only spending an average of 5 seconds on your page before abandoning it? Maybe your headline or feature image need to do a better job capturing their attention. Or maybe they feel misled. Maybe you need to do a better job of creating message match between your ad and post-click landing page. Number 2, create a hypothesis. For that reason, develop a hypothesis. Ask yourself, what am I trying to improve? In this case, you might say, after observing the average post-click landing page user session is only about 5 seconds, we believe that creating a more compelling headline will get them to read the body copy and spend more time on that page, which ultimately will lead to more conversions. Through testing, you'll be able to accept or reject that hypothesis. Number 3, creating your sample size. Before you can conclude your test, you need to reach something called statistical significance. This term refers to the number of visits your page will need, control, and variation before you can be confident about your results. In most fields, including conversion optimization, the commonly accepted level of significance is 95%. Essentially, this means at the conclusion of your test, there's only a 5% chance that your results are due to chance. At a 95% level of significance, you can be 95% sure that the change in your conversion rate is the result of the changes you made on your post-click landing page. Now, there's a way to calculate sample size manually, but it involves some serious math. Fortunately, there are tools that make it easier for those of us who don't have the statistical chops or the time to do it the old-fashioned way. Optimize's calculator is great for this. Here's what you'll have to input in order for it to spit out an accurate sized sample. Baseline conversion rate. What's the conversion rate of your original control page? The higher it is, the fewer visits you'll need before you can conclude a test. Minimum detectable effect. The minimum relative change in conversion rate you'll want to be able to detect. A 20% minimum detectable rate means that at the end of your test, you can only be confident that a lift or a drop in conversion rate higher than 20% can be the result of your adjustments. A 20% minimum detectable effect means that at the end of the test, you can only be confident that a lift or a drop in the conversion rate higher than 20% is a result of your adjustments. The lower your minimum detectable rate is, the more visits you'll need before you can conclude a test. Statistical significance. Optimize's calculator allows you to raise and lower this, but it's not recommended for you to use anything under 95%. If you want to make accurate business decisions based on your results, you can't afford to bank on unreliable data. The higher your rate of significance is, the more visits you'll need before you can call your test, once you've got your sample size. 4. Make adjustments. If it's the headline you're changing, update it. If the hypothesis involved changing the feature image, do that. Make sure your original post-click landing page remains the same, otherwise your baseline for testing won't be accurate. Number 5, eliminate confounding values. Unfortunately, your tests aren't being conducted in a vacuum. That means there's the potential for one small outside factor to affect your test in a big way, which could result in a misleading outcome. Make sure that things like traffic sources and referring aids are the same for both pages, and that other variables that could affect your test are eliminated to the best of your ability. Keep in mind, when it's best to address these is the beginning. You'll have to watch for them throughout. Obstacles to accurate results can pop up when you least expect them. Number 6, make sure everything is working. Eliminate everything before your test goes live. Does your post-click landing page look the same in every browser? Is your CTA button working? Are all the links in your ads correct? Before you start running anything, it's important to QA every aspect of your campaign to ensure nothing threatens the accuracy of your results. Number 7, drive traffic to your pages. Now it's time to drive traffic to your pages. Make sure, as we mentioned before, the traffic is coming from the same place, unless of course you're split testing your traffic sources or ads, and be careful where the traffic is coming from. Sometimes something called the selection effect describes the source of traffic and how it can skew the results of your test. Pete Blea from Conversion Excel collaborates. Example: you send promotional traffic from your email list to a page you're running a test on. People who subscribe to your list like your way more than the average visitor. So now you optimize the page, post-click landing page, product page, etc., to work with your local traffic, thinking that they represent the total traffic, but that's rarely the case. Once you pick your traffic sources, keep running your test until you've hit the same sample size you've identified in your pre-testing calculations for both pages, original and control. Once you've hit that number in less than a week, keep the test running. Why? Because days of the week have a significant impact on conversions. There are some days that visitors will be more receptive to your marketing package than others. If you've hit the sample size and run your test for at least one full week, all the while accounting for confounding variables that may poison your data, it's time to look at the results. Number 8, analyze and optimize. How did your variation fare? Did you produce a big lift? A small one? Remember that if you set your minimal detectable effect to 20% and you produced a smaller lift than that, you can't be confident that lift was a result of your adjustments. Now, if you produce a lift bigger than that, congrats. You're done optimizing now. Just because your post-click landing page is better than it was doesn't mean it's as good as it can be. There's always something to test. No campaign is perfect. If you didn't produce lift or created a worse variation, don't stress. You didn't fail. You just discovered something that doesn't impact your conversions on your page. Move on and keep testing. I hope you found value in my video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.